you know, as a child or a teenager, I didn't think that, you know, I would be working so hard and never have any time to spend with my husband, you know. It's hard to maintain a relationship when you have no time to devote to it.
I think that the pressures that our life has been under, mine and Pam's and Billy's too, and Sarah's now that she's in the picture, have really taken their toll on us.
I guess you would call me an energetic working mother. I like to be busy, which is good because I'm very busy. I enjoy music and movies, but I don't get to listen to or see a whole lot of anything like that. I used to like to read before I had kids, and I used to like outside activities before I hurt my knees.
The last 10.5 years I've been a construction laborer and repair laborer for the water department, City of Chicago. Mostly that involves breaking with a jackhammer, making holes in the street, digging parkways with a shovel, or working with a backhoe machine. Though the engineer is the guy who operates the backhoe, I operate the shovel. After 10.5 years, just recently, a job opened up in the office for a radio dispatcher. Same union, same pay scale. A little bit less overtime, but you're out of the weather. Don't have to work out on the street when it's below 0 or 110 degrees. So I'm giving it a try. See if maybe it's easier on my constitution than what I was doing before.
I feel good about it. I'm glad that he finally decided to do it. We had argued about the possibility of his taking an inside job quite a bit. He didn't want to do it. But I'm glad that he did. I think it's better for him physically.
Since the kids are born, I have less time to devote to music, and I have worked longer hours, but it's always something that I do as a hobby, something that I really enjoy.
A day in the life of Pam Pico is pretty grueling. It starts about 6 or 6:30 in the morning. Get Billy off to school. Get Sarah ready to go to the babysitter. Go to work. At 3:30, I pick Billy up at the school bus, come home and either do some housework or start dinner. And then 3 nights a week, I go back to work until 8 or 9. Then I come home and get the kids ready for bed. And usually I plop in bed about 10:30 and go to sleep immediately.
You're the one who's getting wild, Sarah. Where are you going? That gate's locked, you can't get out.
I was at an open house and I looked absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So now, what area are you looking at?
In order to be able to afford a house, we both have to work, which creates the real stress level in the house, because every moment that I'm not working, I'm watching the kids, and every moment that Pam's not working, she's watching the kids. But in order to stay afloat, we do have to both work. There's no way we could make it otherwise. You know, we got the house payment and the car payment and all of that, and although it seems like I make a lot of money, we have an enormous amount of bills, and by the time it's all paid off, we're just barely keeping our head above water. Trying to do my best, and he'd be standing on the top. You stupid idiot! My 5-year-old daughter could think better than that! And he's hollering and screaming, and he used to call me Jumbo and stuff.
I remember that.
It was like, really, I hated the guy. I really hated him.
What's he doing now?
He's a big money foreman in the Central District. He gets all the overtime. Tony Broden.
Didn't he do stuff with hookers and stuff in the truck?
Yeah, he did. He did. And he also got the clap and gave it to his wife, and she divorced him.
God.
I was at work. I was in the hole and digging, and I started to feel real weak and dizzy. I thought I was going to pass out. I thought I might be dehydrated. This was last spring. I got out of the hole. I had something to drink. I felt fine. I got back in the hole and tried to work, and I couldn't do it. I was just too weak. So I thought I had the flu or something. Usually when that happens to me, I stay home, spend the whole day in bed and recover, go back to work after that, and I'm fine. So I took a day off, I went back to work, and I just couldn't do it. I was sick as could be. I had to come home again, and that was on a Friday. Pam took me into the doctor. She insisted that I go, because normally I don't go. She said, you know, you've been getting the flu an awful lot. A couple of times every year, 3-4 times a year, you get sick, you think it's the flu, maybe we should go see what it is. So I went to the doctor. They did all kinds of tests, and at the end of 2 or 3 days of tests, it became apparent that my liver wasn't functioning properly. So they didn't know what that was about. They sent me into the hospital for more tests, ultrasound, all kinds of tests, which culminated in a liver biopsy. But before we got even as far as the liver biopsy, they determined from a blood test that I had chronic active hepatitis C.
It was something, you know, that we knew we'd have to deal with sooner or later, but we kind of thought, you know, that would be like a 70s. And they, you know, when we'd be in our 70s, that would be an issue, you know, or maybe 80s, you know, or even 60s. I didn't think I'd have to deal with anything like that when I was in my 30s, you know. It's hard for me to see him be scared. I know he's scared.
Put me on this experimental program with interferon, which is a chemotherapy drug, and I take a mild dose of this chemotherapy drug 3 times a week, and I'll be doing it for a year. As of right now, it appears to have the hepatitis in remission, but 50% of the people who this drug helps, you can only take it for a year, and at the end of the year, 50% of the people just get sick again. So long term, we really don't know until middle of the summer sometime.
It's hard to see someone you love be so sick. We have a lot of conflicts in discussing the future and making arrangements for the future. He pretty much won't discuss it. It's hard. He goes off the chemo in August, and the doctor said we should see pretty quickly whether he gets sick or not.
You know, the only medical treatment they have for hepatitis C now is this interferon, and it has quite a few side effects, one of which is it gives you a tendency towards aggressive behavior, which in my case means my remarkably small amount of self-control is even further diminished, and I get easily agitated and easily quick to fits of yelling and screaming, which subside quickly and I feel terrible afterwards, but I have an even shorter temper than before, and with all the stress in the house, I find myself yelling a whole lot more than I used to. So that's one of the ill effects of what happened. I don't know if you can blame it on the disease or the cure.
Even if the interferon works and gets rid of active infection, his level of cirrhosis will never improve. That could either stay where it's at, or it could continue to get worse, because he already has the beginning stages of cirrhosis of the liver. So his liver will never function normally, but at least would stop the disease.
A stressful existence with trying to work around our crazy work schedules and the activity levels of two wilder than average children. It's also a real rewarding life. We're seeing a lot of good stuff happen. We're seeing Sarah go through all these milestones, and we're seeing Billy has made it into the gifted program, which was always one of our greatest goals, that his special talents and unique abilities could someday be stimulated. And for us, it's a wonderful thing to see that he's getting that, and that he's doing well in the program and still interested in science. That's great. Pam's doing well in real estate. I guess since the change of administration, the market's stimulated. People have a little more confidence in the economy. Interest rates are low, so she's making decent money, which is good. I like this new job in the radio room, and I don't know, we're looking forward to better things.